A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a surprising move that has sent shockwaves through European capitals, President Donald Trump has sent a letter to the European Union announcing a staggering 30% tariff on all goods imported from the EU. This decision comes despite earlier hopes for a more conciliatory approach, with many anticipating a potential compromise. The response from European leaders has been swift and stern, with Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, warning that such tariffs could lead to significant disruptions in the transatlantic supply chains. The Italian government, through Palazzo Chigi, has expressed its full support for the EU's efforts to address this challenge, emphasizing that initiating a trade war would be counterproductive. Giuseppe Conte, the leader of the Five Star Movement, criticized Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni for her handling of the situation, stating, "Trump's letter is a clear indication of a lack of negotiation skills." Meloni campaigned on the promise of zero tariffs, yet here we are facing a 30% tariff threat. This is a disastrous negotiation that puts over 100,000 jobs at risk. The EU has convened an urgent meeting of the COREPER, the Committee of Ambassadors from the 27 EU member states, to discuss possible countermeasures. These measures have been in preparation for months but have remained on hold pending developments in negotiations with the US. The Commission is expected to provide an update on the status of discussions with American officials. Germany's economy minister, Katrina Reich, has urged the EU to negotiate pragmatically with the US, emphasizing the importance of finding a solution to avoid escalating tensions further. France's President Emmanuel Macron echoed this sentiment, stating that the EU must prepare credible countermeasures and consider activating the anti-coercion mechanism if no agreement is reached by the August deadline. Hungary's foreign minister, Peter Szijjártó, criticized von der Leyen's leadership, labeling the current situation as a failure to secure favorable tariff agreements with the US, which ultimately harms European interests. He argued for a need for more patriotic leadership rather than bureaucratic oversight. The potential economic impact of Trump's proposed tariffs has been assessed by Coldiretti, an Italian agricultural organization, which estimates that American households and Italian agricultural exports could suffer losses exceeding 2.3 billion euros. The organization warns that many Italian products could vanish from US shelves, benefiting the counterfeit food industry, estimated to be worth 40 billion euros. The tariffs would compound existing duties, hitting key Italian products hard, with cheese facing tariffs as high as 45% and wines up to 35%. Maurizio Gardini, the president of Conf Cooperative, described the tariffs as a technical knockout for Italian exports and called for continued diplomatic efforts to salvage the situation. He pointed out that previous tariffs had already led to significant job losses and declines in export value. Giacomo Ponti, president of Federvini, condemned the blanket 30% tariff as unjustified, stressing that it would adversely affect high-value sectors and disrupt the interconnected economic relationships between the EU and the US. He emphasized the need for consultation before implementing unilateral measures that could have long-lasting negative effects. Antonio Costa, president of the European Council, reaffirmed the EU's commitment to protecting its interests, stating that the EU would remain united and ready to defend itself against such tariffs. He highlighted the importance of free and fair trade for prosperity and job creation, warning that tariffs are essentially taxes that could stifle economic growth. The Italian political party, Lega, expressed frustration over the situation, claiming that Italy is unfairly bearing the brunt of an EU system dominated by German interests. They argued that rather than threatening retaliation, the EU should focus on reducing bureaucratic hurdles that hinder Italian businesses. In a broader context, Mexico has also criticized Trump's tariff threats as an unfair agreement, highlighting the potential global ramifications of such unilateral trade measures. As the deadline approaches, the world watches closely to see how these negotiations will unfold and what impact they will have on international trade relations. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.